This audiobook reveals the hidden truth. Reality is not solid but fluid, shaped by your beliefs and awareness. You have already glimpsed this power in moments when the impossible became possible. Now you will learn to harness it at will and shift reality in your favor. The Reality Shift. Introduction. In the depths of your being, a knowing stirs, an ancient recognition of a power that has always been yours. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has guided you to these sacred teachings at precisely the right moment. What you are about to discover is not new knowledge, but rather a remembrance of what your soul has always known. Reality is not the solid, unchangeable force you have been led to believe. It is as fluid as water, as malleable as clay in the hands of one who understands its true nature. The veil between what is and what could be is thinner than a breath, more delicate than morning mist. You have glimpsed this truth in those extraordinary moments when time seemed to bend, when coincidences aligned so perfectly they could not be mere chance. Perhaps it was when you thought of someone and they appeared, or when you needed something desperately and it manifested unexpectedly. These were not accidents. They were your first unconscious steps into your true power. The Ancient Ones spoke of this ability in whispered tones, preserving it through symbols and metaphors. They understood that reality responds not to force, but to the subtle energies of consciousness itself. Every thought, every feeling, every breath carries the potential to reshape the world around you. As you embrace these teachings, you will discover that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself in human form. The power to shift reality lies not in some external force, but in the very essence of who you are. Sacred practice, the moment of power. Close your eyes and allow your mind to drift back to a time when everything aligned perfectly. Remember the feeling when the impossible became possible, when reality seemed to bend to your desires. Notice the sensations in your body, the quality of your thoughts, the texture of that moment. Let this memory fill you completely. Now, holding that feeling, recognize that this was not chance. It was your natural ability emerging. Feel the truth of this in every cell of your being. This is who you truly are, a conscious creator of reality, awakening to your inherent power. Carry this awareness with you. Let it infuse every breath, every thought, every moment. You are not learning something new. You are remembering who you have always been. Part 1. Awakening to the Shift. Chapter 1. Reality is not what you think. In the ancient scrolls, there is told a tale of Kairos, a truth-seeker who journeyed to the edges of the known world. There, where the mists of reality grow thin, dwelled a sage named Zephyr, whose wisdom was said to transcend the boundaries of ordinary perception. After crossing deserts and scaling mountains, Kairos finally stood before the sage's humble dwelling. Exhausted from the journey, yet burning with determination, Kairos asked, "Tell me the nature of reality." Zephyr's response was not in words, but in action. With a gentle wave of his hand, the world transformed. The sky bloomed into shades of violet, never before seen by mortal eyes. The trees, once solid and unchanging, spiraled into magnificent golden helixes that danced in impossible patterns. "Reality," Zephyr whispered, "is what you believe it to be." In an instant, the world returned to its familiar form, but Kairos would never see it the same way again. This truth has echoed through the ages. Reality is not fixed, but fluid, shaped by the power of consciousness itself. What you perceive as solid and unchangeable is merely the current arrangement of infinite possibilities held in place by your beliefs and expectations. Consider the tale of Dr. Thomas Vale, a quantum physicist whose life's work was built upon the foundation of rigid materialistic science. For 30 years he dismissed all that could not be measured by his instruments, until one day in his laboratory he witnessed something that shattered his understanding of reality. While conducting an experiment on quantum entanglement, he observed particles behaving in ways that defied not just the laws of physics, but the very nature of possibility itself. The particles moved as if responding to his thoughts, creating patterns that matched the equations he had only imagined in his mind. In that moment, Dr. Vale's carefully constructed worldview crumbled. The barrier between observer and observed dissolved, revealing a truth he had denied his entire career. Consciousness shapes reality. His decades of skepticism had been the very force keeping him from witnessing the true nature of existence. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and journey back to a moment when your perception shifted dramatically. Perhaps it was a time when you suddenly saw a situation from a completely different perspective, and in that instant, everything changed. Or maybe it was when you realized that a limitation you had accepted as truth was merely a belief you had been carrying. Feel how that shift in perception altered not just your internal world, but the external reality around you. Notice how circumstances, relationships, or opportunities transformed the moment you changed your view of them. This is the power you hold, the power to reshape reality through the lens of your consciousness. Your perception is not passive. It is the active force through which you create your world. Chapter 2. The Observer's Power. You are the architect of reality. In the quiet hills of a nameless village lived Amara, a young artist whose gift extended far beyond mere talent. Each morning she would sit before her blank canvas, her charcoal poised between fingers that seemed to pulse with creative energy. On this particular dawn, she began to sketch the outline of a house, simple strokes that traced the shape of her imagination. As her hand moved across the paper, something extraordinary occurred. Each line she drew shimmered in the air before her, taking form in the physical world. The foundation emerged from the earth. Walls rose like morning mist solidifying into stone, and windows materialized as if woven from light itself. With every stroke of her charcoal, the house built itself, transforming from thought to form, until she stood before a dwelling that moments ago had existed only in her mind. This truth lies at the heart of creation. You are not merely observing the world around you. You are bringing it into being through your conscious awareness. Every moment of attention, every focused thought, shapes the reality you experience. Modern quantum physics has unveiled what the ancient mystics always knew, that the act of observation fundamentally alters the observed. When scientists watch particles at the quantum level, the mere act of watching changes their behavior. This is not metaphor, but measurable fact. Your consciousness is not passive. It is the force through which reality manifests. In the mountains of Tibet there lived a monk named Chen Wei, whose mastery of this truth had reached legendary proportions. Travelers spoke of witnessing him alter the course of rivers without lifting a finger, shaping the flow of water through pure awareness. When his students asked how such feats were possible, he would smile and say, "The river and I are not separate. When I see truly, it flows as I flow." For 40 days he taught his students to shed their illusion of separation from the world around them. Reality, he would say, bends not to force, but to clear seeing. When you truly understand that you and what you observe are one, the world moves with you as naturally as your own breath. What Chen Wei knew, and what quantum physics now proves, is that consciousness is not contained within the mind. It is the very fabric from which reality is woven. Your attention is the thread, and your awareness is the needle stitching together the tapestry of existence moment by moment. Let us now engage in an ancient practice of conscious creation. Find a peaceful space and close your eyes. Imagine holding a brush of pure light. Chapter 3: The Quantum Code of Shifting. In the heart of an ancient marketplace, where spice-laden air mingled with the calls of merchants, lived a trader named Hassan. Each morning he would traverse the familiar paths between his shop and home, his mind occupied with ledgers and transactions. Yet on this day, something shifted in his routine. A whisper of change in the corner of his vision. Between two weathered buildings, an alleyway appeared where none had existed before. Hassan paused, his curiosity drawing him toward the narrow passage. As he stepped into its shadows, a strange sensation washed over him, as if reality itself had become fluid. When he emerged on the other side, the world had subtly changed. His shop, once modest, now sprawled across prime real estate. In this timeline, he had chosen to invest in expansion rather than play it safe. Fascinated, Hassan retraced his steps through the passage. Each transit revealed another version of his life. One where he had pursued scholarship instead of trade. Another where he had sailed the seas as a merchant adventurer. The alley was not merely a passage through space, but a gateway between the infinite variations of his existence. This tale unveils a fundamental truth about reality. All possible versions of your life exist simultaneously, like countless radio stations broadcasting at once. Just as a radio receives only the frequency to which it is tuned, your consciousness experiences the reality that matches your internal frequency, your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state. The quantum nature of existence means that every choice, every possibility, creates its own timeline. These timelines are not distant or separate. They are here now, layered upon each other like sheets of gossamer. Your power lies not in creating new realities, but in tuning your consciousness to experience the reality you choose. In the vast expanse of the ocean, a sailor named Ravi found himself lost in a tempest. His small vessel tossed upon angry waves beneath a sky black with storms. As fear gripped his heart, the waves grew more violent, the wind more fierce. Then, in a moment of clarity, he remembered an old teaching. The outer world mirrors the inner. Taking a deep breath, Ravi began to calm his thoughts. With each exhale, he released his fear. With each inhale, he embraced peace. Gradually, remarkably, the storm began to calm. The clouds parted, revealing stars that guided him to safe harbor. Through shifting his internal state, he had altered the external world. These stories reveal the quantum code of shifting, the understanding that reality is not fixed, but responsive to the frequency of your consciousness. Just as Ravi's emotional state affected the physical world around him, your internal vibration determines which version of reality you experience. Let us now engage in an ancient practice of reality tuning. Chapter 4: The Instant Reality Shift Formula, the Technique. Among the dusty shelves of countless libraries wandered Thomas, a scholar whose life's pursuit was a single text, the Reality Codex, said to contain the ultimate secret of existence. For 30 years, he searched every corner of the known world, following whispers and fragments of ancient wisdom. One evening, exhausted and defeated, Thomas sat in his study. The weight of his quest had become unbearable. In that moment of complete surrender, he stopped searching. For the first time in decades, he simply sat in silence. And in that silence, a truth emerged, not from any external source, but from within. The secret had never been hidden in a book. It was written in the fabric of existence itself, waiting to be recognized rather than discovered. This revelation became the foundation of what would be known as the reality shift formula. The formula's power lies in its simplicity. When you cease struggling against what is, when you release the grip of forcing change, reality becomes as malleable as water. The shift occurs not through effort, but through alignment. To shift reality instantly, three elements must merge: detachment from current circumstances, complete immersion in the desired state, and emotional resonance with the new reality. These are not steps to be followed, but aspects of a single moment of transformation. In the mountains of the east lived a warrior named Chen, who faced certain defeat against an overwhelming force. The night before battle, he tried every strategy, every possible plan of attack. None would lead to victory. In the pre-dawn hours, Chen stopped planning. He simply sat and allowed himself to feel what it would be like to have already triumphed. In that moment of perfect alignment, where his emotions matched his desired reality, where he neither clung to victory nor feared defeat, the world shifted. A landslide occurred in the mountain pass, blocking his enemy's approach. Without raising his sword, the battle was won. This is the essence of the reality shift formula. Reality bends not to force, but to alignment. When you fully embody the state of your desired reality while releasing attachment to outcomes, the shift occurs naturally, instantly, without effort. Let us now experience this ancient practice together as I guide you through your first conscious reality shift. Close your eyes and allow yourself to settle into this sacred moment. Like the master in our story, you too possess this innate power, a gift bestowed upon all beings since the dawn of creation. The wisdom of ages flows through you, waiting to be awakened. Chapter 5. Feeling is the portal to a new dimension. In a remote village lived a fisherman named Ravi, whose nets rarely filled with enough fish to feed his family. Each dawn, he would row his weathered boat to a hidden lake, nestled between ancient mountains that seemed to touch the clouds. One morning, as joy filled his heart at the sight of the sunrise painting the waters golden, something extraordinary occurred. The lake's surface began to shimmer with an otherworldly light, and fish leaped abundantly into his nets. The next day, weighted by worry about feeding his children, he returned to find the waters murky and still, yielding nothing. Through time, Ravi uncovered the lake's sacred truth. It was a mirror of his inner state. When gratitude flowed through his heart, the waters teemed with life. When fear gripped his mind, the lake withdrew its bounty. The waters were teaching him the eternal law. Reality shapes itself to match your emotional frequency. You see, emotions are not merely responses to life. They are the very substance from which reality is woven. Like radio waves filling the air, emotional frequencies broadcast continuously into the universe, attracting matching circumstances with perfect precision. This truth was known by an imprisoned man named Karim, who discovered it in the depths of his despair. While his body remained in chains, he began to feel the lightness of freedom in his heart. Each morning, he would close his eyes and experience the sensation of wind on his face, of walking under open skies. He tasted liberty in his soul before his circumstances changed. Within weeks, through events that seemed miraculous, Karim walked free. The guards discovered evidence of his innocence in unexpected ways, as if reality itself had rearranged to match his inner knowing. The secret lies not in wishing, hoping, or even believing, but in feeling. When you embody the emotional resonance of your desired reality, you tune yourself to its frequency. The shift must occur within before it can manifest without. Let us now practice this ancient art of emotional alchemy together, a sacred technique passed down through countless generations of illuminated souls. Find a quiet space where you can fully immerse yourself in this sacred practice, free from the distractions of the outer world. Create a sanctuary of stillness, even if only for a few precious moments. As you close your eyes, prepare to experience the feeling tone of your desired reality, allowing your inner consciousness to tune itself to the vibration of that which you seek to manifest. Like a master musician adjusting their instrument to the perfect pitch, you will learn to attune your being to the frequency of your dreams. Chapter 6. The Hidden Role of Belief in Instant Shifts. In the halls of a prestigious research facility, Dr. Thomas Chen stood before his quantum measurement equipment, his decades of scientific certainty about to shatter. As he initiated the experiment, one he had performed countless times before, something inexplicable occurred. The particles he observed began behaving in ways that defied every law of physics he had devoted his life to studying. At first, he dismissed it as equipment malfunction, yet when he checked and rechecked his instruments, everything was functioning perfectly. The impossible was happening before his eyes. Particles were communicating instantaneously across space, breaking the very rules he had believed unbreakable. In that moment, Dr. Chen's rigid worldview cracked. As his beliefs shifted, so too did the reality around him. The fluorescent lights in his laboratory began to pulse with an otherworldly rhythm. The walls seemed to breathe. For a brief instant he glimpsed the truth. Reality was not fixed, but fluid, responding to his consciousness. You see, belief is not merely a lens through which you view the world. It is the very foundation upon which your reality is built. Each belief acts as a filter, allowing certain experiences to manifest while blocking others. When you change a belief, you literally shift into a different timeline where new possibilities become available. This truth was known instinctively by Maya, a young girl in a drought-stricken village. While adults worried and feared, Maya maintained an unwavering belief that rain would come. Each morning she would dance in the dry earth, laughing as if she could already feel droplets on her skin. The villagers thought her strange until clouds began gathering on the horizon. Maya's pure, unquestioning belief created a bridge between possibility and manifestation. She did not hope for rain. She knew it with the certainty that comes from a heart untouched by doubt. And so it was that after months of drought, the skies opened, blessing the village with gentle, life-giving rain. Your beliefs are the gatekeepers of your experience. Whatever you accept as true becomes your reality, not because the universe bends to your will, but because your consciousness tunes to the frequency where that truth exists. The skeptic and the mystic live in different worlds, not because they inhabit different physical spaces, but because their beliefs attune them to different layers of reality. Now you shall participate in an ancient practice of belief transformation. Find a quiet space where you can examine the beliefs that have shaped your current reality. Like a master gardener preparing soil for new growth, you will learn to uproot limiting beliefs and plant seeds of new possibilities. Chapter 7. The Mirror Effect: How Your Reality Reflects You. In the heart of an ancient mountain range, a weary merchant named Ravi discovered a temple unlike any other. Its weathered stone walls held no statues, no offerings, only mirrors. Hundreds of them, arranged in intricate patterns that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. As Ravi stepped inside, the mirrors captured his tired expression, multiplying it infinitely. His shoulders were slumped, his face drawn with worry over failed ventures. Each reflection showed him exactly what he was, a man beaten down by life. Then, remembering an old teaching, he straightened his posture. To his amazement, the reflections changed instantly. As he lifted his chin, so did every image before him. When he allowed a slight smile to cross his lips, the temple filled with the warmth of countless smiling reflections. This truth lies at the heart of all manifestation. Your external world is nothing but a mirror, reflecting back your internal state with perfect precision. Every person you meet, every circumstance you encounter, every event that unfolds, all are reflections of your inner landscape. Just as Ravi discovered in the Temple of Mirrors, your reality shifts the moment you shift within. There is no separation between inner and outer experience. They are one and the same, divided only by the illusion of separation. This wisdom was hard won by King Adnan, whose realm was plagued by constant rebellion. The more forcefully he demanded peace, the more violence erupted. His armies could not subdue the unrest. His decrees fell on deaf ears. In desperation, he consulted a wise woman who lived in the mountains. "Your kingdom," she told him, "is merely showing you your own inner turmoil. Find peace within and watch as your realm transforms." At first the king scoffed, but as his kingdom descended further into chaos, he began to understand. He spent months in quiet contemplation, releasing his anger, his need for control, his fear. As peace bloomed in his heart, a remarkable change swept through the kingdom. The rebels laid down their arms, not through force, but through a mysterious wave of reconciliation that seemed to touch every heart. The universe operates as a grand cosmic mirror, reflecting back to you the sum total of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states. When you understand this principle, you hold the key to transformation. Change nothing in the outer world, simply shift your internal state and watch as reality rearranges itself to match your new frequency. Now you shall engage in an ancient practice of self-reflection, one that will reveal how your current reality is mirroring your inner world. This sacred contemplation, passed down through generations of illuminated seekers, holds the power to unveil the intricate dance between your consciousness and the physical manifestations surrounding you. As you prepare to embark on this timeless ritual of inner exploration, remember that every circumstance in your life right now serves as a perfect reflection of the thoughts and beliefs you have been nurturing within. Chapter 8. The Identity Paradox. Who must you become? In a village among rolling hills lived a farmer named Elias. Each morning as he tended his fields, he would stand tall, imagining a crown upon his head. While others saw dirt on his hands, he felt royal rings. Where they heard simple greetings, he spoke with the measured tone of nobility. The villagers whispered and laughed at first, watching this simple man carry himself as though he walked through palace halls instead of muddy fields. But something strange began to unfold. His posture changed, his words carried weight, and wisdom seemed to flow naturally from his lips. You see, Elias had discovered the identity paradox, a fundamental truth of reality shifting that few understand. Each version of reality is intrinsically tied to a specific version of you. You cannot step into a new life while desperately clinging to who you once were. The shift must occur within before it can manifest without. This sacred principle reveals why so many attempts at transformation fall short. You cannot merely wish for a new reality. You must become the person who exists in that reality. The universe responds not to what you want, but to who you are. This truth was also discovered by Thomas, a wanderer lost in an endless forest. For days he searched frantically, each step taking him deeper into confusion. The more desperately he identified as lost, the more the forest seemed to twist and turn around him. It was only when he took a deep breath and declared, "I am someone who knows exactly where he's going," that the path suddenly became clear. The moment he shifted his identity from lost to found, reality rearranged itself to match his new self-concept. The identity paradox teaches that reality is not changed by force or desire alone. It transforms in response to who you become. Each reality is like a frequency that can only be accessed by its matching identity. A king's reality cannot be accessed through a beggar's consciousness, no matter how much that beggar might wish for a crown. Now, you will engage in an ancient practice of identity shifting, one that has been preserved through countless generations of mystics and sages who understood the deeper truths of existence. This sacred ritual, passed down through whispered wisdom and carefully guarded teachings, will guide you into full embodiment of your future self, allowing you to step into the energy field of your desired reality. Like the masters before you who discovered the art of conscious transformation, you stand at the threshold of profound change, ready to cross the bridge between who you are and who you are destined to become. Chapter 9: The Timeline Collapse, Destroying the Old Reality. A young warrior named Raven stood where two paths diverged in an ancient forest. One path glowed with golden light, promising adventure and glory. The other, familiar and worn, led back to his village and the life he had always known. As doubt crept into his heart, both paths began to fade like morning mist, leaving him stranded between possibilities. You too stand at such a crossroads in every moment of choice. Yet the art of timeline collapse reveals a truth often overlooked. You cannot walk two paths simultaneously. When you attempt to keep one foot in your old reality while reaching for the new, both timelines begin to dissolve, leaving you suspended in a void of indecision. The universe operates on absolute clarity. It responds not to wishful thinking or tentative steps, but to complete alignment with a chosen path. Each time you glance backward, wondering what if, you breathe life into the very timeline you wish to leave behind. Your energy, split between possibilities, prevents either reality from fully materializing. This wisdom was understood by Karim, a merchant who built his fortune through a single act of courage. Standing at the harbor's edge, he watched his old trading vessel, the source of his modest but comfortable living. The new opportunity before him required all his resources, all his focus. Without hesitation, he set fire to his ship, sending it to the depths. That night, as the flames lit the harbor, he collapsed the timeline of small trades and safe passages. Within a year, his new fleet dominated the seas. The art of timeline collapse demands more than choice. It requires the wisdom to understand that holding on to the past creates a weight that anchors you to old realities. Every doubt, every "maybe I should have," every moment of nostalgia for what was, acts as a thread keeping that timeline alive. You must learn to sever these threads completely. The warrior who stands frozen at the crossroads remains there not because both paths are equal, but because he refuses to release the comfort of choice itself. The power lies not in having options, but in the absolute commitment to a single path. The ancient masters taught that reality shifts occur in absolute terms. Just as you cannot be partially awake or partially asleep, you cannot partially shift into a new timeline. The moment of transformation requires a complete release of what was, allowing the energy of your chosen reality to fully manifest. Now you will participate in a sacred ritual, passed down through generations of those who mastered the art of timeline collapse, an ancient practice known to the wise ones who walked these paths before us. This ceremony, preserved in the whispered teachings of masters who understood the delicate threads of reality, serves as a bridge between possibility and manifestation. Like those illuminated souls who came before, you stand at the threshold of transformation, ready to embrace the profound wisdom that has guided seekers through the ages. Chapter 10: Recognizing the Signs of a Reality Shift. In a valley untouched by time, an elder named Yara shared a tale of the Whispering River, a mystical waterway that appeared only to those who had aligned with its sacred rhythm. Many sought this river, rushing through the valley with maps and calculations, yet found nothing but dry earth. Those who discovered its flowing waters were the ones who had learned to move in harmony with the universe itself. You now stand at the threshold of understanding a profound truth. Reality shifts announce themselves through a sacred language of signs. Just as the Whispering River revealed itself only to the prepared soul, your chosen reality communicates its emergence through subtle yet unmistakable signals. The first messenger comes in the form of unexpected opportunities, doors that open without effort, paths that appear as if drawn by an unseen hand. These are not mere coincidences. but confirmations that your energy has aligned with a new frequency of existence. The second herald manifests as shifts in your emotional landscape. You may find yourself filled with inexplicable joy, or experience a deep sense of peace that seems to arise from nowhere. These altered states signal that your vibration is matching the reality you seek to enter. External feedback forms the third sign. The way the world responds to your presence begins to change. Words of encouragement appear at perfect moments. Strangers react differently to you, and situations resolve themselves with surprising ease. The fourth messenger speaks through symbols, recurring numbers, meaningful phrases, or objects that catch your attention in unusual ways. These symbolic confirmations serve as breadcrumbs, leading you along your chosen path. A scholar named Thomas once scoffed at such signs, dismissing them as mere superstition. Each morning, he would see the number 444, but turned away. Butterflies would land near him in impossible places, yet he ignored them. Only when his rational mind finally surrendered did he recognize these as the universe's way of confirming his path. The moment he acknowledged these signs, his life transformed, aligning perfectly with his deepest aspirations. The language of synchronicity speaks not through coincidence, but through the subtle orchestration of the universe itself. Each sign serves as a gentle nod from the infinite, confirming that your reality shift is unfolding exactly as it should. Like whispers carried on a divine wind, these messages appear when your consciousness is ready to receive them. They manifest as perfect alignments of time and circumstance, moments so precisely arranged that they could only be crafted by the invisible hand of universal intelligence. When you attune yourself to this sacred frequency, you begin to recognize that nothing in your experience is random or meaningless. Part 2. Mastering the Shifting Process. Chapter 11. How to Stay Aligned with Your Desired Reality. Along the ancient waters of a sacred river, a wise fisherman named Ryu shared wisdom with his young apprentice. Day after day, the apprentice would strain against the current, his muscles aching as he fought the water's natural flow. "The river always leads to the ocean," Ryu would say, "but only if you do not fight the current." You too may find yourself struggling against the flow of life, attempting to force your way into a new reality through sheer will. Yet the art of shifting requires a different approach, one of alignment rather than force. When you align with the energy of your desired reality, you move like water joining water. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions naturally flow in harmony with the timeline you wish to experience. This alignment is not a battle to be won, but a dance to be mastered. Consider how often your mind drifts back to old patterns, creating what appears as glitches in your reality. One moment, you stand firmly in your new timeline, experiencing the flow of your manifestations. The next, an old thought pattern pulls you back, and your reality seems to waver between versions. In the mountains of the east, a sculptor named Chen approached a massive block of marble. Others saw only stone, but Chen understood that the statue already existed within. He did not force the marble to become something new. Instead, he aligned himself with the form hidden in the stone. As his chisel moved in harmony with the marble's natural grain, the statue emerged effortlessly. This truth extends to every aspect of reality shifting. The version of reality you seek already exists, complete and perfect. Your task is not to create it, but to align with it so completely that you naturally flow into its expression. The signs of misalignment are clear: resistance, struggle, doubt, and confusion. These are not obstacles to overcome, but indicators that you have fallen out of harmony with your chosen timeline. When you find yourself experiencing these symptoms, it signals the need to realign rather than push harder. True alignment feels like being carried by an invisible current. Your actions become effortless, your thoughts naturally support your desired reality, and your emotions resonate with the frequency of your chosen timeline. In this state, reality shifts not through force, but through natural evolution, like a river finding its way to the sea. Find a quiet moment each day to close your eyes and scan your inner landscape. Notice your thoughts. Do they flow in harmony with your chosen reality? Feel your emotions. Do they resonate with the frequency of your desired timeline? Observe your actions. Do they naturally align with the path you've chosen? Let any resistance dissolve, allowing yourself to flow like water joining water, becoming one with the reality you wish to experience. Chapter 12. The Art of Surrender, Letting Reality Reshape Itself. In the mist-shrouded peaks of an ancient monastery, a young monk named Kai sought the secret of freedom. His master's words echoed through the temple halls, "Let go, and you will be free." Yet Kai clutched his beliefs tighter, gripped his fears closer, and held his desires with increasing desperation. You may recognize yourself in Kai's struggle. How often have you grasped at control, believing that through sheer force of will, you could manifest your desired reality? This desperate clutching keeps you bound to the very timeline you wish to leave behind. The universe operates on a principle that seems paradoxical to the untrained eye. True power lies in surrender. When you release your iron grip on how things must unfold, you create space for infinite possibilities to emerge. Kai spent years in meditation, trying to force enlightenment through rigid discipline. His knuckles grew white from holding on, his mind exhausted from constant control. Then one day, worn beyond measure, he simply let go. In that moment of pure surrender, a great door appeared before him, revealing the freedom that had always been present. Along the stormy coasts, a sailor named Thomas faced towering waves that threatened to overwhelm his vessel. He fought against the sea's mighty force, attempting to impose his will upon the waters. Each struggle only brought him closer to disaster. Only when exhaustion forced him to release the helm did the truth reveal itself. The sea itself knew the path to safety. As he surrendered to its flow, the waters gradually calmed, guiding his ship to peaceful harbor. This wisdom applies directly to your journey of reality shifting. When you try to control every aspect of your manifestation, you create resistance. This resistance anchors you to the old timeline, preventing the natural flow of transformation. True shifting occurs in the space of surrender. It emerges not from forcing change, but from allowing it. When you release your grip on the how, when, and where of your manifestation, you open yourself to the infinite intelligence of the universe. Close your eyes now. Feel the weight of control in your hands. All the plans, expectations, and rigid timelines you've created. Begin to loosen your grip, finger by finger. Let each breath carry away another layer of need to direct every detail. Feel how liberation flows into the space where control once lived. Allow your new reality to emerge naturally, like a flower unfolding in its own perfect timing. This is the art of surrendering into your shift. Trust in this gentle release, for it holds more power than all your careful planning. As you rest in this space of letting go, notice how your entire being relaxes. Mind, body, and spirit aligning with the natural flow of transformation. The universe's wisdom far exceeds our limited understanding of how things should unfold. In this sacred surrender, you open yourself to possibilities beyond imagination, allowing miracles to manifest with divine timing and grace. This is how true reality shifting occurs, not through force, but through faith in the perfect unfolding of your desired reality. Chapter 13. The Reality-Bending Power of Imagination. In a small village between mountains and mist lived a young boy named Liam, who discovered a peculiar golden key beneath an ancient oak tree. The key seemed to shimmer with an inner light, and when he held it, doorways appeared. Doorways that only his eyes could perceive. You, like Liam, possess a key to unseen realms. Your imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the architect's tool of reality itself. When Liam first spoke of these magical doors, the villagers laughed, dismissing his tales as childish dreams. Yet he continued to see them, shimmering in the air like heat waves rising from summer stones. One autumn morning, before the gathered crowd in the village square, Liam stepped forward with his golden key. A door materialized, invisible to all but him, and as he turned the key in empty air, he vanished. The villagers gasped, for in that moment he had proven that imagination shapes reality itself. Liam emerged in a world he had carefully crafted in his mind, a realm where crystal trees sang in the wind and butterflies carried messages between stars. He had not escaped reality. He had expanded it through the power of his focused imagination. In the streets of an ancient city lived a painter named Elena, whose works were forgotten by all. Day after day, she painted worlds of stunning beauty, pouring her heart into each brushstroke. One morning, she woke to find her painted birds taking flight from their canvases, her painted flowers blooming through the floorboards. Her imagined worlds had become real, for she had held them so clearly and consistently in her mind that reality had no choice but to conform. The universe responds not to what you wish for, but to what you can imagine with unwavering clarity. When you engage your imagination fully, you activate the same forces that shape reality at its quantum level. Each detail you envision creates a template in the fabric of existence. Settle now into a space of pure creation. Close your eyes and begin to construct your new reality with the precision of a master artist. See the colors that surround you. Feel the textures beneath your fingers. Hear the sounds that fill your world. Breathe in the sense of this reality. Taste its unique flavors. Build this world detail by detail, allowing each aspect to become so real that your mind accepts it as truth. Hold this vision until it feels more solid than your current circumstances, for in this space of vivid imagination, you are literally programming the quantum field that shapes your existence. Chapter 14: The Science of Parallel Realities and Quantum Leaps. In a dimly lit laboratory, Dr. Thomas Chen adjusts his microscope with trembling hands. What he witnesses defies all scientific understanding, a microscopic world that mirrors his every movement. When he leans forward, the tiny figures below lean forward. When his thoughts turn to joy, their world brightens. When doubt crosses his mind, storm clouds gather in their sky. You stand at the threshold of understanding that parallels the doctor's discovery. The universe exists in a state of infinite possibility, each potential reality hovering in quantum superposition until consciousness itself chooses which thread to follow. The microscope reveals what mystics have known for millennia. Reality is not fixed but fluid, responding to the observer's consciousness. Every thought, every choice, every focused intention collapses infinite possibilities into singular experience. This is not metaphor but quantum truth. In the gardens of ancient Athens, the philosopher Theron gathered his students beneath an olive tree. Step forward, he instructed, but know that each step carries you into a different universe. His students laughed until one brave soul moved, and as he did, the very air around him changed, the light shifted, and he emerged transformed. You see, Theron smiled, you have just entered a reality where you were brave enough to step forward. The quantum field responds not to what you hope for, but to what you embody. Each choice, each shift in perspective, each moment of focused awareness moves you through the infinite array of parallel realities that already exist. You are not creating these realities. You are selecting them through your consciousness. Close your eyes now and feel the quantum field humming around you. Sense the infinite versions of yourself existing simultaneously across countless dimensions. See before you a doorway of pure light. This is your gateway to a new reality. As you step through, feel yourself becoming the version of you that already exists in that timeline. Let your cells vibrate at this new frequency, resonating with the infinite potential that surrounds you. Feel the shift in your very DNA as you quantum leap into this chosen reality, as every molecule of your being aligns with this higher vibration. Each breath draws you deeper into this new dimension of experience, where your desired reality has always existed. You have always been here. You are simply awakening to this truth, emerging from the chrysalis of limited thinking into the boundless expanse of what is possible. In this moment, past and future collapse into the eternal now, where all possibilities converge. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 15. The Identity Shift, Becoming Your New Self Instantly. In a village among ancient mountains, a blacksmith named Ravi labored day and night, pouring his heart into forging the perfect sword. With each strike of his hammer, he wove his dreams into the metal. As the blade took shape, it gleamed with an otherworldly light more beautiful than any he had ever created. Yet when he reached to grasp it, the sword shimmered and vanished like morning mist. You, like Ravi, may have felt your desires slip through your fingers just as they seemed within reach. The truth that his master revealed speaks to the core of reality shifting. The sword exists, but not for the version of you who doubts. This wisdom unveils the essential key to manifestation. You must become the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. The external world arranges itself not according to what you want, but according to who you are. Every reality is tied to a specific identity, and until you embody that identity, that reality remains just beyond your grasp. In the high mountains of Tibet, a wanderer named Jin sought entrance through a mystical gate that appeared only to the worthy. For days he waited, watching others pass through while he remained stuck outside. An old woman approached and whispered, "The gate does not open to those who seek passage. It opens to those who already belong on the other side." In that moment, Jin understood. He closed his eyes, released his identity as a seeker, and embraced his true essence. When he opened them again, he found himself already on the other side. The universe responds not to your desires, but to your state of being. When you shift your identity, reality has no choice but to reflect this change. This is not pretense or imagination. It is quantum truth. Just as water must become vapor to rise, you must become the frequency of your desired reality to experience it. Ancient practice of identity embodiment. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Breathe deeply, releasing all thoughts of who you have been. Feel yourself dissolving, becoming pure potential. Now, with each breath, draw in the essence of your future self, the one who already lives in your desired reality. How does this version of you move? How do they speak? What thoughts fill their mind? Let their confidence flow through your veins, their wisdom settle in your bones. Stand as they stand, smile as they smile, see through their eyes. This is not role-playing. This is quantum shifting. You are not becoming someone new. You are awakening to who you truly are. Maintain this state as you move through your day, letting your new identity guide every action, every decision, every response. The world will have no choice but to reshape itself around who you have become. Chapter 16. the energy signature of your new timeline. In the hidden valleys of an ancient land, a musician named Kai wandered with his lute, seeking the mythical city of golden light. Tales spoke of its gates opening only to one who could play the perfect melody. For years he studied every song, mastered every scale, yet the gates remained sealed. You too have felt this struggle, searching outside yourself for the key to your desires when the truth lies in a deeper resonance. Every reality exists at a specific frequency. Just as a radio must tune to the exact wavelength to receive a station, you must match the vibration of the reality you wish to experience. This is not metaphor, but universal law. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy create a signature frequency that either aligns with or diverges from your desired reality. One moonlit night, exhausted from endless attempts, Kai set down his instrument. In that moment of surrender, he felt rather than heard the song of the city. It had been playing within him all along. As he allowed himself to vibrate with this inner melody, the gates swung open effortlessly. This truth extends beyond mere manifestation. It is the fundamental nature of reality itself. Each version of existence resonates at its own frequency. When you try to force your way into a new reality, you create resistance. But when you attune yourself to its vibration, reality shifts naturally, effortlessly. In the mountains of the East, a dancer named Maya discovered this same principle through movement. She had trained in every style, but something was missing until she learned to feel the earth's pulse beneath her feet. As she synchronized her movements with this cosmic rhythm, nature itself began to dance with her. Trees swayed to her steps, winds matched her breath, and reality flowed in perfect harmony with her being. Sit in stillness and close your eyes. Feel the energy flowing through your body. This is your current frequency. Now bring to mind your desired reality. Rather than visualizing details, sense its essence, its vibration. What is the feeling tone of this reality? Let this frequency wash over you like waves of light. Don't try to reach for it, allow it to resonate within you. Feel your energy field adjusting, like an instrument being tuned to perfect pitch. When resistance arises, don't fight it. Simply observe as your frequency naturally aligns with the reality you seek to experience. Notice how your body responds, how each breath draws you closer to this new vibration. Stay here until you feel the shift, a subtle but unmistakable sense of resonance, as though you and your desired reality are humming the same note. Let this harmony wash through every cell of your being, dissolving the boundaries between what is and what will be. In this sacred space of alignment, you become one with the infinite possibilities that await. Chapter 17. How to remove resistance and mental blocks instantly. In a candlelit chamber deep within an ancient library, a scholar named Rashid sat hunched over a mysterious manuscript. The text before him held secrets he had sought for decades, yet as his eyes strained to decipher the symbols, they seemed to dance away from his gaze, becoming more indecipherable with each desperate attempt to understand. You know this feeling well. The way reality seems to resist when you push against it. Like trying to grasp water, the tighter you clutch, the more it slips through your fingers. The universal law of resistance operates with perfect precision. When you struggle against what is, you create an energetic barrier that prevents what could be from flowing into your experience. This resistance manifests as tension in your body, anxiety in your mind, and friction in your reality. Rashid's frustration mounted until, in a moment of defeat, he slammed the book shut and buried his head in his hands. As his breath steadied and his mind cleared, something extraordinary happened. The manuscript began to glow with an inner light. When he opened it again with calm acceptance, the symbols transformed into crystal-clear wisdom, revealing themselves effortlessly. Along the northern mountains flows an ancient river. For countless ages it is carved through solid stone, not through force or struggle, but through unwavering acceptance of what is. The water does not fight the rock, it simply flows around every obstacle, wearing away resistance through gentle persistence. Where the stone is unyielding, the river adjusts its course. Where passage seems impossible, the water finds hidden channels beneath the surface. Now close your eyes and bring awareness to any tension in your body. Feel where you are holding resistance to your desired reality. Notice the subtle ways you might be pushing, forcing, or struggling against what is. With each breath, allow these points of resistance to soften. Imagine yourself as that flowing river, moving effortlessly around every obstacle. Feel how resistance dissolves when you stop fighting against it. Let your energy become fluid, adaptable, accepting. In this state of allowance, watch as the path forward naturally reveals itself. Your only task is to release. Let go of how you think your reality shift should happen. Release the timeline, the method, the means. As you surrender control, feel how reality begins to move with you rather than against you. In this space of acceptance, the impossible becomes effortless, and what was hidden comes naturally into view. Trust in the infinite wisdom that guides all things, knowing that the universe conspires to bring forth your highest good in ways beyond your limited understanding. When you cease struggling against what is, you align with the natural flow of divine timing, allowing miracles to unfold with perfect grace. The path reveals itself not through force, but through faith. Chapter 18. The Dream-Reality Connection. Shifting while you sleep. In the quiet hours before dawn, a young woman named Maya discovered a peculiar door within her dreams. Night after night it called to her. A simple wooden door that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly light. At first she only dared to touch its surface, feeling the warmth beneath her fingertips. With each dream, her courage grew, until she finally turned the handle and stepped through into a reality that matched her deepest desires. You stand now at the threshold of understanding one of the most powerful gateways to reality shifting, the dream state. In those moments between sleeping and waking, when consciousness floats free from physical limitation, you access the quantum field where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Dreams are not mere flights of fantasy, but bridges between parallel timelines. When you dream, your consciousness naturally shifts between different versions of reality. This is why dreams often feel as real as your waking life, because they are glimpses into other dimensions of your existence. In the misty peaks of ancient mountains, there lived a wise shaman named Koda, who understood this truth. His young apprentice struggled to manifest changes in the physical world, trying to force reality to bend to his will. One night, Koda led the apprentice into a sacred cave and taught him to enter the dream state while fully aware. The world you see while awake, Koda explained, is merely one dream among many. Master the art of conscious dreaming, and you master the art of reality itself. Night after night, the apprentice practiced entering different realities through his dreams. He learned to maintain awareness as he crossed the threshold between worlds. Soon, the changes he created in his dreams began appearing in his waking life, first as subtle shifts, then as unmistakable transformations. To access this power yourself, begin by setting a clear intention before sleep. As you drift into slumber, hold the image of your desired reality in your mind. Allow your consciousness to remain alert as your body relaxes. When you encounter a door, a pathway, or any symbol of transition in your dreams, recognize it as a gateway to your chosen timeline. Practice becoming aware within your dreams. Notice the details of your surroundings. Interact with the environment of your desired reality. Feel its textures, hear its sounds, breathe its air. The more vivid and conscious your dream experiences become, the stronger the bridge between realities grows. Let your dream consciousness guide you through the doorway of transformation. As you wake each morning, carry the energy and awareness of your desired reality with you. The boundary between dreaming and waking will begin to blur, allowing your chosen timeline to flow naturally into your physical experience. Chapter 19. The Flow State, the Effortless Way to Shift. In the heart of an ancient city, a sculptor named Ravi stood before an untouched block of marble. His hands trembled as he lifted his chisel, his mind racing with thoughts of perfection and fear of failure. For days he had attempted to create, yet each strike felt forced, each movement clouded by doubt. The universe speaks through the language of flow. When you release the grip of conscious control, reality shifts naturally into its highest form. This truth reveals itself in those moments when time seems to dissolve, when action becomes effortless and creation flows through you rather than from you. As Ravi sat in frustration before his marble, something extraordinary occurred. His breathing deepened, his thoughts quieted, and a strange peace washed over him. Without planning or thinking, his hands began to move. Hours passed like seconds as the marble transformed beneath his touch. When awareness returned, a masterpiece stood before him, more beautiful than anything he could have consciously designed. This state of flow is not merely a condition of enhanced performance, it is the natural state of reality creation. When you surrender to the flow, you align with the universe's inherent tendency toward harmony and perfection. Resistance dissolves, and reality rearranges itself according to your deepest intentions. In a distant kingdom, there lived a swordsman named Chen who never lost a duel. His secret was not in strength or technique, but in complete surrender to the moment. While others fought with tension and calculated moves, Chen entered a state of pure flow. His movements became one with the wind, his awareness expanded beyond thought. Those who faced him said it was like fighting empty space. There was nothing to resist, nothing to overcome. Victory comes not from forcing reality, Chen would say, but from allowing reality to flow through you. The practice of entering flow state begins with releasing resistance. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Feel the natural rhythm of your breath without trying to control it. Notice how your body moves with each inhale and exhale. Let your awareness expand beyond thoughts, beyond the need to direct or manage experience. As you settle into this space of allowing, imagine your desired reality as a river. Rather than swimming against the current, feel yourself becoming one with its flow. Let go of the need to make things happen. Allow your actions to arise naturally from this state of alignment. Practice this state of flow in small moments throughout your day. Whether washing dishes, walking, or creating, notice when you shift from doing to being, from forcing to allowing. In these moments of surrender, reality shifts most powerfully. Chapter 20. The Threshold Test. Are you ready to leave the old world? In the shadow of towering temple walls, a weary seeker named Akash stood before the final gate. Years of searching had led him to this moment. The ancient stone seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and a voice, neither male nor female, echoed through the sacred space. Are you ready to leave everything behind? You now stand at your own threshold, facing the same question that has tested seekers throughout time. The gate before you represents more than a simple choice. It is the division between who you have been and who you are becoming. Akash's hand trembled as he reached for the gate. His mind filled with images of his old life, his family, his possessions, his identity. The gate remained unmoved, sensing his hesitation. Only when he released his last attachment, when his heart truly embraced the unknown, did the ancient door swing open to reveal a reality beyond imagination. The threshold test appears at every significant reality shift. It manifests as that crucial moment when you must choose between the comfort of the known and the possibility of transformation. Many stand at this threshold feeling its power, yet turn back at the last moment, clutching the familiar like a shield. In the mountains of the east, a traveler named Maya reached a crossroads. One path led back to her village, to safety, predictability, and all she had ever known. The other path disappeared into mist, promising nothing but possibility. The choice before her was clear: return to the known or step into mystery. As she stood there, she understood that her entire life had prepared her for this decision. Her choice would not just determine her path, but her very essence. The universe presents these thresholds as invitations to transcend your current reality. Each represents a quantum leap in consciousness, available only to those willing to release their grip on the shore and swim into deeper waters. The Sacred Threshold Practice. Stand in a doorway within your home. This ordinary threshold now becomes sacred space. Close your eyes and feel the energy of your current reality behind you. Before you lies the reality you wish to enter. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to release an attachment to your old life. When ready, speak these words: I release all that no longer serves my highest path. Step through the threshold with unwavering commitment, knowing that this symbolic act ripples through all dimensions of existence. Once through, turn and face your old reality with gratitude, then close the door gently behind you. Part 3. Living in your new reality. Chapter 21. The Secret to Permanent Reality Shifting. Along the shores of an ancient sea, a king named Rashid dreamed of building a palace that would rival the heavens. His ambition knew no bounds, and he commanded his builders to construct upon the golden sands where the waves whispered their eternal song. You, like Rashid, may have experienced the intoxicating rush of a reality shift. That moment when everything aligns and your desired world materializes before your eyes. Yet, as the king would learn, manifestation is merely the beginning. The palace rose magnificent and proud, its spires touching the clouds, its halls echoed with celebration. For a time, it seemed the king had achieved the impossible. But nature holds wisdom deeper than human desire. Day by day, wave by wave, the tides worked their patient art. The foundation began to shift, almost imperceptibly at first, until cracks appeared in the marble walls. The king's advisor, weathered by years of watching empires rise and fall, spoke truth that echoes through the ages. If you wish for permanence, you must build on rock, not illusion. This wisdom reveals why many experience temporary shifts only to find themselves pulled back into old patterns. A shift in reality requires more than a moment of alignment. It demands a complete rewiring of your default state. In the mountains far to the east, a young musician named Lin practiced the same melody until his fingers bled. Each day he played the notes again and again, not seeking perfection, but integration. When the music plays through you without thought, his master taught, then it has become truth. The stabilization of a new reality follows this same principle. It must become so natural that returning to the old way feels foreign. Just as Lin's fingers eventually found the notes without conscious thought, your new reality must become your automatic response to life. Each morning as the sun rises, stand facing the east. Place your hands over your heart and speak these words. I am, speak your new reality as naturally as I breathe. Feel this truth settling into your bones, becoming your foundation. Repeat this not as an affirmation, but as a recognition of what is already true. Continue this practice until the words feel as natural as your own name, until questioning them becomes impossible. This is how you build upon rock rather than sand. Chapter 22. The Bridge of Incidents. letting reality rearrange for you. Through the veils of morning mist, a wanderer named Tao stumbled upon an ancient bridge suspended between two cliffs. Its weathered stones seemed to float in the air, yet as he placed his foot upon the first step, something extraordinary occurred. Another stone materialized before him. You too stand at the edge of such a bridge between the reality you know and the one you wish to create. Like Tao, you may feel uncertainty with each step forward, watching as the path appears only moment by moment. As Tao ventured further, his confidence wavered. In that instant of doubt, the stones behind and before him dissolved into mist. Only when he renewed his trust did the bridge reform beneath his feet. This is the nature of the bridge of incidents, the series of synchronized events that carry you from one reality to another. When you initiate a shift, the universe begins its intricate dance of rearrangement. What appears as chaos is divine orchestration. Each seemingly random event, each unexpected encounter, forms part of an unseen bridge carrying you to your destination. In a distant mountain village, a sculptor named Wei worked tirelessly on a block of marble. Day after day, he chipped away, seeing only dust and fragments. His hands moved, guided by something deeper than sight. When others passed his workshop, they saw only destruction, the breaking apart of stone. Yet beneath his chisel, a form was taking shape, one that existed in perfection before he ever lifted his tools. Your journey across the bridge of incidents mirrors Wei's sculpture. Though you may not see the complete picture, every event shapes your path with precise intention. That unexpected delay, that chance meeting, that apparent setback, all are carefully placed stones in your bridge. Take a moment now to recall a time of great change in your life, perhaps a transition that seemed chaotic or uncertain when you were in its midst. Looking back, observe how each event, even those that seemed disruptive or painful at the time, led you exactly where you needed to be. Feel the perfection of that unfolding, the divine orchestration that wove together circumstances beyond your understanding. Let your breath deepen as you recognize the invisible hand that guided you through what appeared to be darkness into light. This remembrance builds trust in the bridge forming beneath your feet now, as you step into your new reality. Like a master weaver at their loom, the universe is already arranging the perfect pattern of your tomorrow, though you may only glimpse individual threads today. Chapter 23. Recognizing synchronicities as reality confirms the shift. In the bustling streets of an ancient market, a merchant named Maya noticed a peculiar symbol etched into a copper bowl, a spiral within a circle. She thought nothing of it, until the same symbol appeared in her morning tea leaves. By sunset, she saw it traced in the flight pattern of birds against the evening sky. You too have experienced these whispers from the universe, moments when patterns emerge from seeming chaos, when coincidences stack upon each other until they can no longer be ignored. These are not random occurrences, but sacred messages written in the language of life itself. As Maya followed these signs, each one led her closer to an understanding that transformed her existence. The universe speaks constantly to those who attune their awareness to its subtle voice. Every meaningful coincidence, every repeated number, every recurring theme carries a message meant specifically for you. In the depths of a mountain temple, a monk named Chen spent years studying the patterns of falling leaves, the arrangement of stones in the stream, the way shadows danced across temple walls. Others saw only natural phenomena, but Chen recognized a profound truth. Nature itself is an oracle, constantly communicating with those who learn its sacred language. When you begin to shift realities, the universe responds with confirmation. These signs appear as breadcrumbs along your path, assuring you that movement is occurring even when your external circumstances appear unchanged. A conversation that exactly mirrors your thoughts, a book that falls open to the precise wisdom you need, a chance encounter that shifts your trajectory. These are not coincidences, but cosmic confirmations. To read these signs, you must first acknowledge their existence. Begin recording every synchronicity, no matter how small it seems. Note the patterns that repeat, the symbols that catch your attention, the numbers that appear with unusual frequency. Like an ancient cartographer mapping unknown territories, you are learning to read the subtle markers that guide your journey between realities. In the silence of dawn or dusk, take your journal in hand. Write down every synchronicity you notice throughout your day, every meaningful coincidence, every repeated pattern, every moment that seems to speak directly to your soul. Do not analyze as you write. Simply record with the curiosity of one discovering a new language. After 7 days, review your entries. You will begin to see patterns emerge, a conversation between you and the universe written in the ink of experience. This is your personal oracle, your map through the shifting landscapes of reality. Chapter 24. How to shift reality instantly, anytime, anywhere. In the sacred halls of an ancient temple, a warrior named Ryu dedicated his life to mastering the sword. Each dawn brought endless repetition, stance, strike, breath. Each night ended with calloused hands and aching muscles. For 20 years he pursued perfection in every movement, every technique. You too have followed the path of discipline, learning the methods and practices of reality shifting. Like Ryu, you have honed your skills through dedication and persistence. One morning, as cherry blossoms drifted on the wind, Ryu's master approached. Without warning, he commanded, "Drop your sword." Confused but obedient, Ryu let his weapon fall. "Your true power," the master said, "lies in knowing you never needed it." In that moment, Ryu understood. The sword had been a bridge, not the destination. His real strength lay not in the weapon, but in the consciousness he had developed through years of practice. The same truth applies to reality shifting. While techniques and practices serve as valuable tools in the beginning, true mastery comes when you realize they were never necessary. The shift happens in an instant, without ritual or ceremony, because you have become the shift itself. Far across the desert sands, a nomad named Khalil moved between worlds as easily as others crossed streets. No preparation, no ceremony, just a simple choice to be somewhere else, and reality reshaped itself around him. Those who watched him closely noticed he never seemed to do anything special. He simply was, and the world responded. This is the state of mastery that awaits you. The practices you have learned are like training wheels, necessary at first but eventually limiting. True power lies in knowing that reality shifts with your consciousness, instantly and effortlessly. Close your eyes now. Without preparation, without ritual, simply step into your desired state. No counting, no visualization, no process, just be there. Feel how reality responds immediately to your choice, recognizing that you are already what you wish to become. This is not a practice, but a recognition of what has always been true. The power has resided within you since the beginning of time, waiting only for this moment of pure acceptance. Like a master musician who no longer thinks of individual notes, but simply allows the music to flow through them, you need only acknowledge your natural state of being. The universe bends to this knowing, this quiet certainty that transcends all techniques and methods. Chapter 25, The Quantum Leap, Moving Beyond Linear Change. Along the ancient path of transformation, a tiny caterpillar inches forward, each movement a testament to patience and perseverance. Yet within its being lies a profound secret, the ability to transform completely, instantly, beyond the constraints of time. You have been taught that change must be gradual, that progress follows a linear path. This is the greatest illusion that binds you to slower transformations. The universe knows no such limitations. Just as the caterpillar contains within itself the complete blueprint of the butterfly, you hold within you every reality you wish to experience. The ancient masters spoke of quantum leaps, moments when consciousness shifts so completely that reality has no choice but to reorganize itself instantly. These are not mere changes, but complete transformations that bypass the illusion of time. In a distant marketplace, a merchant named Hassan spent years carefully counting his coins, believing wealth would come through gradual accumulation. One night, he dreamed of abundance so vividly that his entire being shifted. The next morning, a wealthy trader offered him partnership in a venture that transformed his fortunes overnight. Hassan realized that his sudden prosperity came not from external circumstances, but from an internal quantum leap that allowed abundance to flow naturally. This truth reveals itself. Reality responds not to time, but to state. When you truly embody a new state of being, the universe must reflect it, not gradually, but immediately. The caterpillar does not slowly grow wings. It transforms completely in the chrysalis of consciousness. Now close your eyes and enter the sacred space of instant transformation. See your reality not as it will be, but as it already is. Feel the completeness of your desired state, knowing that time is merely an illusion separating you from what already exists. Let your consciousness expand beyond the linear path, embracing the truth that quantum leaps happen in the eternal now. Like the butterfly emerging fully formed from its sacred chamber, let your new reality manifest not through gradual steps or timid changes, but through complete and absolute transformation. The universe responds not to your patience or careful planning, but to your unwavering willingness to be completely new in this moment. Just as the caterpillar dissolves entirely before becoming the butterfly, you must release all that you were to embody all that you are becoming. The laws of nature teach us that true change happens in quantum leaps, sudden shifts that rewrite reality in an instant of divine alignment. Chapter 26, Absolute Certainty, the Power of Knowing It's Already Done. In a valley between ancient mountains, a farmer named Tao tended his fields each day. While others anxiously dug up their seeds to check for growth, Tao simply smiled and continued his work. When asked about his unwavering peace, he would say, "The seed knows its purpose. My role is not to question, but to nurture." You stand now at the threshold of the greatest truth about reality shifting. Certainty is the fertile soil in which manifestation takes root. When you plant a seed in the earth, you do not spend your days wondering if the laws of nature will fail. You know with unshakable conviction that life will spring forth. This same law governs all creation. Your reality shifts not when you hope, but when you know. Doubt keeps possibilities in motion, like leaves scattered in the wind. But certainty, absolute, unwavering certainty, anchors your chosen reality into form. The universe responds not to your wishes but to your knowing. Just as water must flow downhill and fire must rise, what you know with complete conviction must manifest. This is not a principle to be questioned, but a law as certain as gravity itself. In the high mountains, a sage named Chen sat with his student beneath the stars. The student spoke of his dreams with longing, always saying, "I hope and I wish." Chen turned to him and spoke, "As long as you hope, you affirm the possibility of failure. When you know, as surely as you know the sun will rise, reality has no choice but to conform." To demonstrate this truth, Chen asked his student to choose a path down the mountain. "But choose," he said, "with such certainty that all other paths cease to exist." The student, understanding at last, made his choice with absolute conviction. As they descended, bridges appeared where there were none, and helping hands emerged at every turn, the world itself rearranging to match his certainty. Now, close your eyes and enter the sacred space of knowing. Feel the difference between hoping your reality will shift and knowing it already has. Let your breath deepen as you release the habit of uncertainty. With each exhale, feel yourself settling into unshakable conviction. See your desired reality not as a possibility, but as an absolute truth, as certain as the turning of the earth. Feel the shift from I hope to I know. Let this knowing permeate every cell of your being until doubt dissolves completely. Like the farmer who trusts in the inevitable growth of his seeds, plant your new reality in the soil of absolute certainty. Water it not with wishes, but with knowing. For in this space of complete conviction, reality has no choice but to reflect your truth. Chapter 27. Creating a Life of Unlimited Manifestation. In a hidden grove, where ancient trees whispered secrets of creation, a wanderer named Rayon discovered a fountain unlike any other. Its waters sparkled with an otherworldly light, and an ethereal voice spoke, "Make your wish, and it shall be granted." Rayon stood silent for a moment, then laughed, a sound of pure joy and understanding. "I desire the power to create at will," he declared. The fountain's waters stilled, reflecting his image back to him. "Look closer," the voice whispered, "for what you seek already flows through your veins." You now approach the ultimate revelation of reality shifting. There are no boundaries to what you can create. Just as a master artist does not limit themselves to a single color, you need not constrain your manifestations to one area of life. When you truly grasp the art of shifting, you hold the brush that paints all aspects of existence: health, wealth, love, purpose. These are not separate territories requiring different keys, but variations of the same creative force flowing through you. In a bustling city lived Sophia, who once struggled to manifest even small changes. Yet upon mastering the art of shifting, she discovered a profound truth. The same power that attracted abundance drew perfect health, deep love, and divine purpose. She did not shift between different techniques or doubt her abilities. Like a musician who, having mastered one instrument, understands the fundamental nature of music itself, Sophia recognized that all manifestation springs from the same source. Now close your eyes and allow your awareness to expand beyond its usual limits. Feel the infinite potential coursing through you. Begin to see your current desires not as endpoints, but as stepping stones to even greater creations. Let your vision stretch beyond what you previously thought possible. Imagine yourself as the fountain of creation, where every thought ripples outward, touching all aspects of existence. Feel the limitless nature of your being, knowing that just as a single candle can light countless others without diminishing its own flame, your creative power grows stronger with each manifestation. Like the infinite patterns a kaleidoscope can create from the same pieces of glass, your manifestation power can reshape every facet of reality. Just as each turn reveals new symmetries and arrangements of color, your consciousness orchestrates endless possibilities from the raw materials of existence. Let your consciousness expand until you feel the truth. There are no limits to what you can create, for you are creation itself expressing through human form. Within you lies the same force that births stars and sets galaxies in motion, waiting to be channeled into the dreams you hold most dear. Each thought, each intention, ripples through the fabric of the universe, rearranging the cosmic kaleidoscope according to your deepest desires. Chapter 28. Changing the collective reality by changing yourself. In a distant village among barren hills, where hunger gnawed at every door, lived an old woman named Amara. While others mourned their empty fields, she tended to her small garden with unwavering faith. Each morning she would whisper to her withered plants, Life flows abundantly here. Her neighbors thought her mad, but her eyes sparkled with certainty. As weeks passed, something extraordinary began to unfold. First, her garden flourished against all odds. Then wild herbs sprouted along the village paths. Springs long dried burst forth with crystal waters. The barren hills transformed into fertile slopes, and soon the entire village overflowed with abundance. You see, when one consciousness shifts into a new reality, it creates a gateway through which others may pass. Your personal transformation is never truly personal. It ripples outward, touching countless lives in ways you cannot imagine. The universe operates as one unified field of consciousness. When you step into a new reality, you create a pathway for others to follow. Like a stone cast into still waters, your shift sends waves of possibility throughout the fabric of existence. In another time, there lived a man named Cairo, whose people suffered under harsh rule. While others plotted rebellion through force, Cairo understood a deeper truth. Each night he would close his eyes and see his people walking free, their heads held high, their spirits unbroken. He felt the reality of freedom so completely that it became his only truth. Gradually, something shifted in the collective consciousness. People began standing taller, speaking more boldly. Their oppressors found their power mysteriously waning. Without a single sword being drawn, the old regime crumbled and a new era of freedom dawned, all because one man dared to shift his inner reality. Now find a quiet space and close your eyes. Feel yourself at the center of an infinite web of connection. As you step into your desired reality, see the ripples of your transformation extending outward. Watch as your shift creates pathways of possibility for others to follow. Feel how your personal evolution contributes to the evolution of all. See those closest to you being uplifted by your transformation. Witness how your new vibration creates a field of positive change around you. Know that as you claim your power to shift reality, you become a lighthouse silently guiding others toward their own awakening. Your shift is a gift to the world, a demonstration of what is possible when one dares to change their inner reality. Let this knowing fill you with even greater purpose as you continue your journey of transformation. As your consciousness expands, you become a living testament to the infinite potential that dwells within all beings. Those who witness your metamorphosis will feel the stirring of their own dormant powers, awakening to the possibility that they too can reshape their destiny. Through your courage to transform, you light the way for countless others who seek to rise above their current circumstances and step into their highest expression. Chapter 29. The Final Shift. The ultimate test before reality is fully yours. In the ancient temples of the East, there stood a gateway known as the Portal of No Return. Before it stood Rama, a guardian whose eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. Those who approached seeking transformation would find themselves facing not just a physical threshold, but the ultimate test of their resolve. You now stand before your own portal of no return. The moment has come where you must choose. Will you remain tethered to the familiar shores of your current reality, or will you step boldly into the unknown? The old reality will call to you with its siren song of comfort. It will remind you of all you must leave behind, whispering doubts into your ear. This is the final test that every master shifter must face, a moment where the gravitational pull of the past threatens to hold you in its orbit. In the mountains of Tibet there lived a warrior named Chen who sought to claim his destiny. His master led him to a corridor of flames and spoke, "Your new life awaits on the other side, but you must walk through the fire without a trace of fear." Chen stood at the threshold, feeling the heat against his skin. His mind screamed of danger, but his heart knew the truth. The flames were merely an illusion created by his own doubt. As he took the first step, something remarkable happened. The flames parted, revealing a path of pure light. Chen emerged transformed, not by the fire, but by his willingness to trust beyond all reason. Now, close your eyes and enter the sacred chamber of self-inquiry. Feel yourself standing at your own threshold. What still binds you to the old reality? What whispers of doubt echo in your mind? Let your awareness sink deeper, beyond the surface thoughts, beyond the immediate fears. What truth emerges? Are you willing to release everything you think you are to become everything you can be? Feel the weight of this moment. Your hand rests upon the door to a new existence. The guardian asks, "Are you truly ready?" Listen to your heart's response, not the answer you think you should give, but the raw, unfiltered truth that rises from your depths. For this is not a test of worthiness, it is a test of authenticity. Breathe into any resistance that arises. Notice where you still cling to old identities, old stories, old limitations. These are not obstacles to overcome, but shadows to illuminate with your awareness. Allow yourself to feel the magnitude of this choice. Every master before you has stood at this same threshold. Every shift in human consciousness began with a single soul brave enough to step through their own portal of no return. Now is your moment of truth. Are you ready to release everything that no longer serves your highest evolution? Are you willing to become the living embodiment of possibility? Chapter 30. Living as a fully awakened reality shifter. In the ancient halls of Alexandria, there stood a mirror unlike any other. Those who gazed into its depths saw not their reflection, but the truth of their own being. A weary traveler named Karim journeyed across deserts and mountains, searching for the ultimate secret of existence. Upon reaching Alexandria, he found himself before this mystical mirror. As he looked into its surface, expecting to see some grand revelation, he saw only himself. Yet in that moment, understanding dawned. The power he sought had resided within him all along. His search had been the very thing blocking him from seeing what was already there. You have walked a similar path. Through these teachings, you have discovered that the power to shift reality was never something to be gained, but something to be remembered. Like Karim before the mirror, you now stand face to face with your true nature, the conscious creator of your experience. In the valleys of Kashmir, there lived a mystic named Aisha, who had mastered the art of reality shifting. She moved through life as if in a dance, each step creating new worlds effortlessly. Those who watched her saw miracles unfold, abundance flowing where there was lack, harmony emerging from chaos, joy blossoming in barren soil. When asked about her secret, Aisha would smile and say, "I simply remember what I am." She understood that struggle comes only from forgetting our true nature as creators. Once we remember, reality bends naturally to our consciousness like water flowing downstream. You have always been this creator. Every shift, every manifestation, every transformation has been you remembering your inherent power. The journey through these pages has not given you anything new. It has simply stripped away the illusions that made you forget. Now, as you stand in this moment of recognition, feel the truth of who you are. Let your awareness expand beyond all limitations, beyond all doubt, beyond all hesitation. You are the author of reality, the painter of possibility, the sculptor of worlds. Find a quiet space and sit before a mirror. Look deeply into your own eyes beyond the surface reflection. Breathe slowly, allowing your awareness to settle into pure presence. Now speak these words with the full power of your being. I recognize and reclaim my true nature as a conscious creator of reality. I am awake to my infinite potential. Every breath I take shapes new worlds. Every thought I think manifests new possibilities. I am the source of all creation in my experience. I shift realities naturally, effortlessly, joyfully. This is not something I must learn. It is what I am. I declare myself fully awakened to this truth, now and always. Stay with this declaration, feeling it resonate through every cell of your being. Let the mirror reflect back to you the truth of who you have always been, an infinite creator, awakened to your divine nature. Feel how these words ripple through the depths of your consciousness, activating ancient wisdom that has slumbered within. The reflection before you shows not just your physical form, but the luminous being you truly are, one who shapes reality with every conscious breath and intention. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion: you have reached the final doorway, yet this ending is truly a beginning. As you stand here, aware of your infinite nature, understand that reality creation has no limits, no boundaries, no final destination. Like a master artist who continues to paint even after mastering technique, you will find endless joy in the art of conscious creation. The ancient masters spoke of a state beyond learning, where creation becomes as natural as breathing. You have entered this state. No longer must you struggle with techniques or doubt your abilities. The power flows through you now, pure and unrestrained. Through these pages you have awakened to your true nature. Yet this awakening is not an endpoint. It is the first light of an eternal dawn. Each day brings new opportunities to create, to shift, to transform. Your consciousness now moves like water, flowing effortlessly between possibilities, shaping reality with the lightness of thought. Some will cling to their old ways, finding comfort in limitation. But you have stepped beyond that veil. You see reality for what it is, a canvas awaiting your touch, a symphony waiting to be conducted, a story waiting to be told. Your every thought, every feeling, every breath now carries the power of creation. In the coming days, you will notice reality bending more readily to your will. What once seemed impossible will manifest naturally. Doors will open, paths will clear, and synchronicities will multiply. This is not magic. It is simply the natural response of a universe that recognizes its creator. Take a moment now to declare your mastery. Find a quiet space where you can fully embody this truth. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and speak these words with the full force of your being. I am the conscious creator of my reality. All power flows through me. All possibilities emerge from me. I walk between worlds effortlessly, shifting realities at will. The universe moves with my intention, transforms with my awareness. I declare myself a master of reality creation, unlimited and unbound. My consciousness shapes worlds, and I create with joy, wisdom, and purpose. So it is, so it shall be, now and always. Feel these words resonate through every cell of your being. Let them echo through the quantum field of all possibility. You are now awake, aware, and alive to your true nature as a creator of worlds. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.